These are the rowdies behind me, Kearney student section. Hey, I got one question for you guys. One question. Does Kearney win tonight? Yeah! I think we have ourselves an answer. When it comes 7 o'clock, there are going to be over 90,000 plus people here to not watch a football game at Memorial Stadium, but a volleyball match. Davis could have easily bet on himself. He could have gone to a better D2 school, maybe even play at the FCS level. But Davis stuck to his guns and helped first-year head coach Ryan Held put together the building blocks to his new program. But whether it was playing duck, duck, goose, going bowling, or maybe even taking a selfie, the win makes this past Saturday even sweeter. Welcome back to Sports Extra. It's been the charge of the Patriots ever since the calendar turned to 2024. Since then, Adams Central boys basketball has won 11 of its last 12 games. It's like what we talked about in Lincoln, right? It's more than lifting a trophy and winning a state championship. It's about everything coming together as one unified varsity team, something Lexington aced once again in 2023. And it may sound a little crazy, but high school football in Nebraska continued on a Saturday. Don't blame me, blame Mother Nature. So Cal and Stanford are going to have to travel all the way across the country to face Boston College in not a non-conference matchup, but a matchup that's going to impact their conference record for every single sport that they play.
For the last 4 years, this has been the way for Reagan Behrens, a quick walk from her car to the HealthPlex Fitness Center in Grand Island. Since COVID, she's walked in and gotten after it in the gym.
And I realized how strong I actually was. I thought to myself, man, I can actually do something with this.
You couldn't kick that girl out of there. I mean, she was in there all the time. You quickly realize that it was more than just what we had there that she needed.
It wasn't until I started setting records at my school that I kind of realized that, man, I'm pretty strong.
It began in her basement. From there, she began to compete as much as her first ever meet in 2022 was a culture shock. Behrens has been rolling ever since.
That day was the start of something special because I was able to place at every meet that I've had, and then I've also became a state champion this year.
So it was April of 2023, she was around 6'10", and then January 2024, 700.
Do the math. That's a 160 bench, a 225 squat, and a 315 deadlift. With every journey comes peaks. Valleys follow as well, though. For Behrens, it was a hip injury that barred the journey a step back.
I was doubting myself as well, and I almost wanted to give it up this year before my injury.
Last year she mentally wasn't there, even though she placed it all. I mean, she did really well. It's just mentally she wasn't there. She struggled, like she said, with her squats and stuff.
And then after that, my mindset completely changed.
So then the injury came about, and that was when you realized, hey, I missed this a ton. I need to come back 150% instead of 100.
Yes. Well, and it only made me want to train harder.
Ever since then, she's just done unbelievable things, and things that are, going to help her throughout the rest of her life.
With that came 2 steps forward. One step has been the awards and the PRs.
You want one more? I need one more.
But it's also knowing that this sport can do so much more.
There's so many lifters from so many different sports. It will not only benefit you being a power lifter, but it'll also benefit you in all your other sports that in high school sports that you play as well.
She can squat 2 plates. She can deadlift 3. Those are PRs. But for Reagan, the next PR that she wants to accomplish is growing a powerlifting community here in Central Nebraska.
Your physical health and your mental health are all related. And I think whenever I work out, I feel, and especially at the powerlifting meets, it helped me increase my confidence and kind of made me the person that I am today.
She may be the only one on the mat, but for Behrens, she can't do it without her folks.
She gains a lot of respect, I guess I would say. Just the way that she carries herself.
They don't see the behind the scenes of all the dedication that she put in there for that 1 minute of raw emotion when you get that lift. They don't see the behind the scenes work, but it's been immense for her.
But I got connected with some amazing trainers, coaches, and mentors, as well as my parents, who helped support me and guide me throughout this whole entire journey.
A journey full of twists and turns, but through it all, Behrens has found a way to make her favorite lift the next one. I'm Trey Redfield, NTV Sports.
Let's move to the mats, where Adonis Lattimore, before wrestling at UNK, took the nation by storm, winning the state title in the 106-pound weight class all the way in Virginia. Now, he's ready to make the same impacts with the Lopers, overcoming adversity he's been dealt since birth.
No, obviously rich tradition built by those that came before us.
I've always wanted to be part of that historic team. My high school and middle school years, I haven't been able to do that, so to be part of it this year was a big motivator.
UNK checked all those boxes. It's an elite program.
A program of excellence, one that's continued by many, including Adonis Lattimore.
Long story short, pretty much Coach Jensen, after I won my state title, contacted me after he heard about me.
When we were, looking at schools and whatnot, we never thought that this would be where Adonis would end up at.
And I liked it out here, so I decided to make this my home.
A redshirt freshman by way of Virginia Beach in central Nebraska, with physical challenges from day one.
Obviously, I was born without legs, and there's just one thing on my right hand.
The umbilical cord wraps around the limbs, and it cuts off growth and circulation. And so his right side basically, was impacted by that.
Pretty much lived my whole life like this. Stay in a wheelchair when going around campus and stuff, and then in my dorm, I just stay out of my wheelchair.
There was never an official diagnosis. Despite the physical challenge, Lattimore found the mats.
It was actually my dad that got me into wrestling, because apparently I brought a flyer back home from school one day.
He loved the sport from day one. That was always the case.
After that, he took me to the practice, and after that, it just kind of stuck.
And from there's been no doubt. With different techniques came a state title, leading the road to Kearney, America.
The support system surrounding him has been incredible, and that starts with his parents and even going to his high school wrestling coach, people that never doubted him for a minute.
And that was one of the things that, him and I, Adonis and I, we always talk about, hey, you want to be considered an elite guy. You want to be at the top of the food chain in this sport. Then if the opportunity presents itself, here it is.
He never complains, he never doubts, he never falters at all. He'll do everything that's asked of him and more.
Despite the roadblocks, success has followed, with life lessons riding shotgun through it all.
You can't be hesitant and always not willing to do the extra work. People that are successful actually do the work and set themselves apart from everyone else.
But we're just thankful just for him to even have the opportunity to be in the space and just be able to, like you say, to be able to continue to compete.
There's really no excuses in Adonis's world, and I think you see that a lot carrying on to our guys too, that there's just no excuse, and they just put their head down, go to work, and just try to get better each day.
Wow.
No excuse, no fear. Adonis and UNK look to continue those mindsets tomorrow against Augustana at 3, guys.